For decades, driving at night was a bit like stumbling through your own house after a particularly vigorous trip to the pub. You knew the general layout, but you were never entirely sure when a coffee table or a Rogue Badger headlights were, to be blunt, about as sophisticated as a pair of candles strapped to the bonnet. They shone a blob of yellowish light somewhere in front of you, and that was that. You either blinded everyone coming the other way with your main beams, or you squinted into the gloom on dipped beams, praying you wouldn't drive into a ditch, or worse, France. This pathetic state of affairs was an affront to progress. We had cars that could shatter the sound barrier, cars with engines bigger than a small country's economy. Yet at night we were all reduced to timidly crawling along, petrified of the darkness. Let's start with the first real step away from idiocy, the adaptive headlight. The concept is so beautifully simple, you wonder why it took so long. When you turn your car's steering wheel, the car goes around the corner. For 100 years, headlights just stared blankly ahead into the trees. Adaptive headlights fix this. As you turn the wheel, the headlight units physically swivel, pointing the beam into the corner. It's genius. The mechanics are straightforward. Small electric motors and gears attached to the main projector lens. They talk to the car's brain, monitoring steering angle and speed to decide how far to swivel. On a long, fast bend, they point further around, like a co-driver with a massive torch who never gets car sick. You don't need a hypercar. It's been a premium staple for years, fitted to saloons and large SUVs, making winding lanes feel precise, not random. You see what's actually ahead: cyclists, deer, potholes. The downside, it's still one big blob of light. You either dip and lose range or dazzle oncoming drivers. It's a brilliant first step, but not the final answer. Now we arrive at something properly clever: the Matrix LED headlight. If adaptive headlights are like teaching a Neanderthal to use a wrench, Matrix LEDs are like giving him a PhD in astrophysics. Instead of one big bulb, you get dozens of tiny LEDs. Think of it like pixels on a TV. The computer can turn each pixel on, off, or dim it independently, hundreds of times a second. A camera at the top of the windscreen scans the road, spotting other vehicles' headlights and tail lights and reporting exact positions. The system then switches off just the right LEDs to create a perfect moving shadow around that car. You keep your main beams blazing. Road, verges, trees, everything lit except a small dark box enveloping other cars. Audi leads here. They call it Matrix LED and put it on everything from hatchbacks to Leviathan SUVs. It's eerie and spectacular. A rectangle of darkness tracks the oncoming car, then vanishes, restoring your glorious landscape flooding high beam. You see perfectly without dazzling anyone, reducing fatigue and boosting safety. The catch? Costly hardware and camera dependency. In thick fog, biblical rain, or with a bug-splattered windscreen, it can falter, but most of the time it's like having superpowers. Just when you thought headlights couldn't get more extreme, along came the Germans with, and I am not making this up, lasers. Yes, actual lasers, not James Bond weapons that you can't carve your initials into the car that cut you off. Instead, they create an astonishingly powerful, long-range high beam. Pure automotive theatre. Tiny blue laser diodes fire a yellow phosphor which glows bright white. Reflectors and lenses project that onto the road as your high beam. Still the preserve of very expensive, very fast cars. LEDs for town, lasers when you're on empty straights above roughly 40 miles per hour. Suddenly the road ahead is lit for up to 600 meters, more than a third of a mile. At 100 on the Autobahn, seeing half a kilometer ahead matters. More time to react, more time to brake. Lasers are compact and efficient, enabling slimmer designs, but the costs to buy and repair are astronomical. And with speed and location restrictions, you can't use your expensive laser toy as often as you'd like. So we have our three contenders: the swiveling adaptive light, the shadowy matrix light, and the world-illuminating laser. Comparing them is like a clever spanner, a supercomputer, and a photon cannon. The simple adaptive headlight is the workhorse. It lights up corners, and it does it well. a tangible improvement over fixed beams, making a winding B road far less intimidating and you more connected to the road. The Matrix LED plays a different sport, not just pointing light, but sculpting it, shielding others while keeping your view perfect. It takes the beam-dipping decision out of your hands and does a far better job than a human, cocooning you in visibility. Then there's the laser, the heavyweight champion of distance. Daylight delivered to a narrow strip of tarmac, a specialist tool for very fast, very straight, very empty roads. Otherwise, it's a sleeping giant. In direct comparison, Matrix offers the best all-round performance. Adaptive is a good step up. Laser is an incredible but situational boost. For most people in most situations, the ever-thinking Matrix LED truly changes the game of night driving. Choosing the right headlight tech is like choosing the right engine. You wouldn't put a massive V12 in a city car, nor a tiny 3-cylinder in a supercar. It's about matching the tool to the job, so who should buy what? Countryside, adaptive, all-rounder, Matrix LEDs, highway speedster, laser. If you live among tight, twisty, unlit lanes, adaptive is a brilliant, cost-effective choice for hidden dangers in bends. For mixed city, motorway and cross-country, save for Matrix LEDs. Stick them on automatic and let the car handle the rest. The laser suits the Autobahn hero. Huge range grants precious extra seconds to avoid very expensive accidents. For everyone else, laser is an impressive but rarely used party trick. Ultimately, it depends on your habits and your wallet. Adaptive offers a taste of the good life. Laser is specialist. Matrix is the sweet spot. Intelligent, versatile, useful. If you can own a car with it, seize it with both hands and never look back. Well, your mirror might be cleverly blacked out, probably. Naturally, you can't have sun-bright tech without two things: government regulations and enormous cost. For years, especially in the US, archaic rules from the sealed beam era effectively banned Matrix beam shaping. Makers sold advanced cars with dumbed-down headlights like buying a supercomputer and only using it as a calculator. Thankfully, rules are catching up, but it shows how bureaucracy can strangle progress. Tick Matrix or laser and the price jumps by thousands, often bundled into pricey tech packs you may not need. That puts the best out of reach. Safety shouldn't be a luxury. With scale, costs should tumble, and Matrix could be as common as airbags. Repairs: a minor bump can yield shocking bills. A single Matrix or laser assembly can cost more than a small car's engine. These sealed, delicate electronic systems need specialist diagnostics and steady hands. And that time is very expensive. Head sees the price, heart remembers the safety and joy, and tells you to write the check. Driving with brilliant lights is simply more brilliant. Owning headlights cleverer than you are comes with new responsibilities. You can't treat them like dumb glass bowls. Basic maintenance matters. Keep lenses spotless. Road grime, dust and dead insects scatter the beam and confuse matrix patterns. Wipe regularly with a soft cloth. The system's eyes sit near your mirror, spotting cars, reading signs, detecting lanes. If obscured by dirt, droppings or ice, it goes dumb. It will default to basic dipped beam until its vision is restored. Winter blinds lights and sensors. Washers help, but frozen slush needs a manual clear before you set off. A minute of housekeeping lets expensive safety systems do their job. If you get a warning or see a beam pointing at the moon, do not let your mate Dave poke around with a screwdriver. These are sensitive systems needing proper calibration. A misaligned matrix or laser can dazzle drivers from miles away. Use a qualified specialist. It might be expensive, but it's better than causing a 14-car pileup. As astonishing as today's headlights are, we're only at the beginning. Lights will be more intelligent and communicative, integrated deeply with the car's sensors. Thermal imaging could flag a hidden pedestrian and project a bright box or arrows to draw your attention. Approaching a tight gap, the lights could project your car's exact width to guide you through. Cars will talk to each other, hit black ice up ahead, and the cars behind project a warning symbol onto the road. Linked with GPS, they'll pre-light hidden corners and project snowflake or guidance symbols when conditions demand. The aim is bold: eliminate accidents in the dark. Combine cameras, radar, GPS, and sophisticated lighting, and the car will see, anticipate, and communicate everything. The humble headlight, once a flickering flame, is evolving into a guardian angel made of light. It's a brilliant, dazzling future. Night driving will get safer and more